whatever you decide to invest your time in, your resources in, do it now and don't put it off. Today is the absolute best time to start living your life well, because you just don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Welcome to Lead Like a Girl, where we are empowering everyday women through our stories. I'm your host, Jessica Smith, and I began this journey by sharing my life story. Now, I've joined forces with my longtime friends, Jamie and Coralyn, to keep this party going. We met many years ago as young sales girls in our 20s, driven and quickly rising to the top of our industry. As the years went on, life happened, and we all found ourselves in new companies and completely different industries, still striving for success in it all. Career, family, faith, fun. Now, it wasn't easy, but we never stopped moving. Get ready for our real conversations, inspiring stories, and our big life lessons as we share it all. The good, the bad, and the funny. Welcome to Lead Like a Girl.
Welcome back to another episode of Lead Like a Girl. I'm Coralyn, here with Jamie and Jessica. Again, we are mid-laugh because we are shushing everybody in our house so we can have a very professional podcast for all of you listeners. So great. Here's where we're at. Today we're getting into it, all the good, the bad, and the funny. And like always, we're here for all of it, sometimes in that order and sometimes not. Let's dive in. Jamie, I'm going to put you on the spot. You had a little bit of an adventure last week before we get into all the things that we're going to talk about today. Tell us about this fantastic bike ride that you did.
Fantastic. I was telling Coralyn, like so RAGBRAI, if you don't know, it's called the Register's annual bike ride across Iowa. So you ride your bike.
Oh, that's like it actually stands for something?
Yeah, that's what it stands for. So the Register is the Des Moines Register, is the newspaper, and 52 years ago they started this, and it's basically exactly what it sounds like. You ride your bike from one side of Iowa to the other side of Iowa, and it's usually about like between 400 and 500 miles. And I've done it twice, 2 years, and both years I trained for it, because I mean, you're talking about riding your bike like 50 to 80 miles a day and then sleeping in a tent and then getting up at 6 in the morning and doing the whole thing over again. But this year we only did one day, so I didn't even like really train that much. And so by about a mile or at all. So by mile like 35, it was like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Like, where's the end town? But it was really fun because it was the end town was the town I live in. So they just the towns do so much for this. It's, you feel like you're in a parade, because all the people in like the senior citizen centers and stuff, they're all sitting out on their chairs waving at you and passing you, they've got sprinklers spraying on you, and there's food trucks, and it's, by the end you're just gross, but you're sweaty and you're sore, but it's like there's 20,000 people doing it. So, whenever you feel like you want to give up, you look over and there's like an 80-year-old man or like a 7-year-old kid, and you're like, okay, if they can do it, like I can do it. You're like, okay, if this
nothing like a little bit of an embarrassment to just keep you pedaling.
Totally.
I do remember that though, when I've trained for or done the couple half marathons. We've talked about this a little bit. It is the hardest physical thing that I think I've ever done, but it is amazing how much somebody standing at the on the side of the road, no idea who they are, telling you that you can do this and you're doing a good job, just gives you a little bit of extra motivation. Like, okay, I can do it.
I can do this.
Just keep trudging.
When we did the half marathon together, Sophie was there. And as soon as we got done, the first thing she said to me was, I want to do a long race. I want to do this. She was motivated by it, just watching everybody's cheering you. I mean, you feel like you're in a parade, like everyone's cheering you on, and it was fun. So, but yeah, awesome. I didn't sleep very well the night before, and we were going to stay up. There's live music every single night of RAGBRAI also. So every night the town you're in will have like 3 or 4 different bands playing. And we really wanted to see the last band, but they didn't start until 9, and it was like 8:30, and I'm like, I'm done. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I gotta go.
Well, and you're going to a bed and not a tent, so let's
makes a big difference.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
So it was fun.
High five, Jamie. Proud of you, and Brad. Good job.
Yep. It was fun stuff.
All right. So what we're talking about today is going to be kind of a fun topic. It's leisure or luxury, and talking about what do you choose, or what are you chasing after a little bit. Before we get into that, I do have a little bit of a first minute fast, and it's a quick this or that. So think of this: you have $10,000. There's no strings. It's just extra dollars that are sitting there, right? Because that is happening. Real money. Okay. First one is that what are you going to pick? The vacation that you've always been dreaming about, or remodel the kitchen that you've been getting a quote for but putting it off? Are you going to go on vacation or remodel your kitchen?
I would remodel the kitchen.
I would go on vacation.
Okay. Okay. We'll talk about this a little bit. I'm just going to get your answer. So, second one is, are you going to go on a once in a lifetime trip or pay off debt?
Pay off debt.
Pay off debt.
Okay. And third one is $10,000. Are you going to go on an amazing girls trip with your besties or buy a new car?
Oh, besties. Sorry.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Besties?
Besties.
I mean, when I was thinking about that, I mean, you can't really get much for a $10,000 car, so maybe we need to up the ante on that.
Yeah.
I love that.
A used car.
Right. Or maybe it's a car for your child. I feel like that's probably a little bit more, but so.
Oh, well, then I'm definitely bestie trip on that. Buy his own damn car.
Yep.
Yeah. I love that neither one of you hesitated at all. I kind of prompted you with that, but it's just like you kind of know what you're doing. So I've been thinking about this, and I'll tell you what got me down this path is that I have a backyard that it butts up against a forest, and it's on a really steep hill. And so I've lived in this house for maybe 5 years, I suppose. And every spring and every fall, I go out and I have all these garden beds, and so it's a lot of hostas, a lot of lilies, not like vegetables and stuff, but more landscaping. And it's always a pain in the butt because it's just so much. And the lady that built the house planted all these different things, and when we moved in, it was overgrown, and I just thought, okay, I'm going to tackle this, and not really understanding how much work it's to keep this going, right? And so I just decided, I called a landscape company and I said, what can we do about this backyard? And they came over and they agreed, like, this is just so much to handle. Like, if this could be like a full-time job for somebody to maintain. And so long story short is that they came back with a bid on how to just basically redo the entire backyard that would be look really nice, completely less maintenance, plant some more grass, do some more landscape rock, and kind of get rid of all these extra flower beds and plant beds and stuff. And so I got this bid back, and I literally almost fell out of my chair. Literally thousands and thousands of dollars to get this done. And I knew that it was going to be a lot, but it was literally double what I even thought in my head of what it would cost. And so I'm sitting there kind of soft pitching the idea to my husband about, because he doesn't like, the yard isn't his thing. He mows the lawn. He couldn't care less if we had weeds in our garden or not. And I don't, it gives me, I don't want to sit in our backyard because it makes me feel anxious. Like, it doesn't look nice. I don't want to sit back here. But I thought, like, if we get it all done, then maybe we would use our backyard more. Right. And his immediate response is, that's a lot of vacations for that money.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so and then I want to read you this quote because I kid you not. So we're in this conversation, and then I get a weekly email from James Clear. He's the guy that wrote that Atomic Habits, but it's a kind of a fun thing, and he always has like a quote in it. But this is the quote that it was in this last week's email, and it said, It's talking about leisure or luxury, and it says the enjoyment of leisure is something which decidedly costs less than the enjoyment of luxury. So it's saying that the if like to enjoy leisure costs way less than luxury, and really all it requires is to enjoy leisure is that you just need to have an empty day with nothing to do, and you can be have the epitome of what a leisure day was. But
Yeah.
comparing it to leisure versus buying really nice things, I just thought, what do you guys think? So right out of the gate is that when you hear that leisure versus luxury, how does that like initially sit for you? Like what, like when you're thinking of like what you're chasing, why we have jobs, why we're building net worth, all the things, are you chasing leisure? Are you chasing luxury, like nice things? Also, should I do my landscape project or go on vacation? Like, well, tell me what I should do.
When I hear that, I feel like the first thing that comes to my mind, I don't know if when I hear it, it says, what do you value more, experiences or stuff? Am I on the right track? That's what that says to me.
Yeah, and I think that's a piece of it.
I feel like, the older I get, that kind of changes. And maybe that's just that I'm at the point where I'm like, you know what?
In which direction?
Well, I once upon a time, it used to be like, oh my God, to go to the Louis Vuitton store and buy, a $5,000 bag was like a whole experience. And it made me feel so accomplished and all the things. But not so much. And maybe that's just because I have so many in my closet that it's like, how the heck many $5,000 bags does a person need?
Same.
So now for me, the older I get, it's more the experiences. It's, having the opportunity to go somewhere and I have that memory. Of course, I have to take lots of pictures to remember it, but that is more than, and same thing, Coralyn, I got a $10,000 quote for my closet that I've been talking about for I don't know how long. And once I got the quote, Will's just like, let's just get it done. And I'm like, let's not. And I'm said the same thing, like what we can do with that money. Like I can maybe go get some bookshelves from Target and have you put in the hanger. I saw this video on TikTok where you can do that. And it's probably, a couple $100. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, first off, a comment on your story. My house I sold last year. I was your former house owner. So like I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gardens, like veggies, flowers, beautiful, everything. Like I spent every single day for like an hour, like just making sure everything was all beautiful and pretty and whatever.
Is that what it takes? Because I don't know what it, because I haven't been doing it well. And so that was also another thought, like how much time would this actually take to maintain this in a way that is acceptable?
I always did it like on my lunch break, you know what I mean? Or right when I got off work, because I like to be outside. So it was like, okay, just, 45 minutes, an hour, whatever. It wasn't a terrible amount of time. And plus it's only in the summer. So it's not like you're doing that all year long. But anyway, I sold my house last year. And when I sold it, I mean, I had tomatoes and cucumbers and green beans, and I had like all these veggies coming up. And my neighbor, I saw her a few weeks ago, and my old neighbor. And I said, so are they keeping up on all this stuff? And she's like, Jamie, if you came over and saw your gardens, you would cry. And I'm like, oh no, like all the work, you know what I mean? But no, I think I agree with Jessica, like in terms of the experiences versus the things. Like I'm a minimalist. Like I don't want stuff. I don't like to have stuff. Especially if it's not something that I like would use normally. I'm kind of, when they say if you haven't used that or worn that outfit or whatever for over a year, like just get rid. You're not going to do it. Like just get rid of it. Like give it away, donate it, whatever. But that's one of the things that my kids, my family, and I have adopted is like, you're like, for your birthday, it's not necessarily you're going to get this gift. It's more like, hey, me and you are going to go to a concert, or we're going to go camping, or we're going to, into Lynn's, she's getting lip fillers. Okay. But, there's just some things that, like, I think, your priorities change a little bit. And then the other thing I was going to say is, I hate the stories of people, they finally get to retirement and then they like have a heart attack and die or something. But I'm kind of trying to live my life that way. And like, I'll work really hard right now to make sure that in 10 years, I can just chill. I can do, I can have those leisure days and not feel stressed out about, money or things like that, or stressed out about like missing out on things. I think, there's been way too many times in my past life where I missed out on stuff because I was grinding it out, just working. So I think, yeah, like you said, Jessica, I think your priorities change like when you get a little bit older of what's most important and what's most important to spend your time as well, time and money on.
Mm-hmm. As you guys are talking, do you think that leisure is just, like a type of like a lower form of luxury? Like luxury is leisure, but just it has a bigger price tag on it.
Yeah, I 100%. I think that's the truth. Don't you?
Yeah.
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 Put it this way: the most valuable thing I own is my time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say it all the time. Most valuable thing I own is my time. I didn't always look at it that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that like a way to look at it is you even take your time and you take just the concept of rest. So leisure rest is maybe a nap on the couch on Saturday or something like that, where you just have unchecked time. Like, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to read a book, relax. But on the other end of that spectrum is I'm going to rest at a day spa and get a facial and a massage, where you're actually spending money to rest and have leisure in that kind of a little bit more bougie way.
Right.
When you think about it like that, is there a difference, or is it just, are we chasing leisure in a different way when we're talking luxury outside of accumulating things?
Yeah, and it depends on your lifestyle, right? So if you've got 5 kids in the house and the only way you're going to get some relaxation is to go to a spa because you cannot do it at your house, versus you're home alone all day and you have the day off and maybe you do a face mask and you take a nap and whatever. I think it depends so much on like what the lifestyle that you have and who in the freedom that you have. We had I took Friday off and Brad was gone all day. He was moving his daughter. So I was home alone all day. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do anything today. Okay. Do you think that actually happened? No, I did 1,000 things.
Go and help?
What?
So you didn't take the day off to go and help?
No.
That is, I am
good
so
for you.
Are you proud of me? Because normally that would have been me. I would have been like, okay, I'm going to go. But you know what happened is he got there and all he thought he was going to do was show up, pick up things and drop them off, at the next place. He was gone from 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. Like, it was like none of the roommates had help and they had to clean and no one was ready and whatever. So I'm so glad I didn't, because I would have been so over it. But
I know there's nothing worse than showing up to help somebody move and they're not ready.
Yeah.
I've signed up for that, and I want to be helpful, but I also do not want to pack your boxes.
No, and I think the last I was just gonna say, I think the last ask was her, and she was ready pretty much, but like the roommates were. And the last ask was, well, can you just stay and help us clean the kitchen? And then Brad sends me a picture of his daughter literally scrubbing out the oven. And they had to be out by 8:00 the next morning. Anyway, whatever. But it's like, oh my gosh. But I spent the day, I got a bunch of stuff done around the house. But then it was like, early afternoon. I'm like, I could just sit outside and read a book right now. Like, when does that ever happen? I think it's a lot of your lifestyle. Like, who's around? Are you done with your stuff? I mean, I don't know about, let me ask you guys, can you relax if things aren't done? Like
No.
if
Well,
like your
even as we're
housework's not
talking.
done or whatever, can you relax?
No, as we're talking, this is what I'm thinking. One, this is I'm glad we're having this conversation because I don't think about this. Like I aspire to have a good mix. Going back to your original question, Corlin, like I aspire to be able to do, um, I guess, diversify my time into the day at the spa as well as the relax. Like I don't have any of that, and that's a problem, and that's on me because that's a choice that that you make. But what your question, Jamie? I just lost my train of thought. What was your question right now?
Can you relax if things aren't done? If all
No.
the things aren't done?
Okay, so that made me think of this, Corlin. You talk about this yard. Like, first of all, I'd be thinking I'm not investing because we also have a yard opportunity. I'm not investing.
Such a great opportunity we
That is
have
a
in our
great
hands.
opportunity in the yard.
And my thought, I want to be able to sit and enjoy my beautiful yard. Um, but I'm not doing it unless I could then also pay someone to maintain it. Because the thought, even when Jamie said 30 minutes or an hour a day,
Right?
just sounded like crazy, unrealistic. One, and it also depends on you. Jamie, like that's like her hands in dirt probably bring her joy. Whereas me, it would be another
Too
task like
fancy.
cooking. Like I'd rather you rip off my toenails. Like I don't want to do this.
Well, that escalated quickly.
Rip off my toenails. How do you really feel about that?
That's how I feel about cooking. I don't want to do this. This is so painful. I hate it. I do it because I have to do it. And that's how I would feel about the yard. Yes, I want it to be beautiful, but I want someone to come and maintain it for me. And until I can afford a lifestyle like that, I'm not investing the money in the yard. Otherwise, it's just going to be a waste. And the reason I'm doing it is I'm not going to be fulfilled in the first place. So, yeah, I
I
just
think, yeah.
So two things. One is I going down the path of like using our yard is I kind of have this like what came first, the chicken or the egg situation. Like we don't Harrison said, well, we don't even sit back and use our yard. Why do you want to invest this money there? And I said, I don't want to sit back there because it looks like a jungle. So if it looked nice and it was something to kind of sit and be peaceful in, because we've been over to a friend's house where they have a really nice yard. The grass is cut well. It just looks put together. And that to me is a little bit, it's almost like opening up your cabinet and everything. All the labels are facing forward. Like it's all
Wait, does that
organized.
happen?
Like that to me brings me so much joy and peace, which is a whole nother conversation. So that's one thing. And then the other thing I asked Harrison, so we're going to talk about this today. What's your hot take on this? And the thing that he said was, the thing that makes me think about leisure versus luxury. He's like, it breaks my heart when I hear about friends of ours that try to chase all these different things and then something catastrophic happens and you put all this effort into putting your leisure time off in retirement and then they have a heart attack. Like we've known several
Yeah.
people that where they just like life is short and it just had all these plans of retiring or of relaxing in the future and it never came because of some unforeseen circumstance. And the other thing he mentioned is we were out just talking to a couple friends of ours, and one of their favorite things is like they had saved and saved for a boat, like a nice pontoon. And we ran into him randomly yesterday, and he asked them like, "How's that boat?" And the dad looked at him and he's like, we didn't even take it out this year because we've been so busy. And that to me that's the paradox, right? Is that we want to have the luxury, like own a boat and have the nice thing and marry it up with the leisure time because being on the water is relaxing.
Yeah.
But if you've scheduled your whole entire life not even to enjoy the thing, not to enjoy the yard, like not feel like you can't even sit down because you've stacked up so many things, then what?
Yeah. Coralyn, I'm so glad. This is really good because this is helping me work through. First of all, I'm going to grab my little notepad from church, and because I
I'm
want to
glad
make
this is like a sermon for you. This is great. Put me on
and
page 7.
it is it was, and I wrote with a pencil, so I need my glasses. It was stop living like there's unlimited tomorrows. Right? So that, what you just said, reminded me of that. But also, this is why I am so passionate about things that serve two purposes. We've talked about investment properties, and I'm telling you, yesterday I wrote down on my vision board, and I know this is a stretch goal, by the end of the year, we need an investment. We need that beach house because it serves two purposes. It serves the purpose of, we're all trying to work hard to make money so that we have something for the later years, as you mentioned, Jamie, right? And that's what this is doing. Even if it's breaking even, you're paying into something that's going to build equity. And in my opinion, you can never lose with real estate. You might have to sit on it longer. But in the times that I do have time to get away, I can go and spend that time in that house. So it's serving, and that I love when you can take one vehicle and it serves two purposes at the same time. And no shade on your yard, but yes, the yard's going to be there. But like that boat,
Literally.
like that boat, it's like, well, based on the weather, how much time are you really going to spend? And is that contingent on if you upkeep it, and do you have the time to upkeep it? So I ask myself all those questions, and I want to say, what's the real ROI on this investment? And if I can't weigh it out to there's more that I'm gaining than the risk that I'm losing, I'm out.
Well, and you make a good point with, do you have the time for it? But like, do you want to invest your time in it? So
Right.
you talked about cooking, like,
yes,
I like the way that I relax is being outside in the garden and cooking, which I know you're not, but like
that's
literally
why we need to live together, because it's this harmony.
Yes.
Without
But it's like
weird, this is why I would want to just live in a big house.
It's not weird at all. It's not weird.
It's not weird at all. But you know, like it's kind of like, what is leisure to you?
Right.
I guess that might be my question for you guys. Like, leisure to me literally is doing those things. Like you could put my hands in the dirt in the garden, and you could put me in the kitchen cooking, and that is like the way that I recharge and reset and like relax, and that is how I let go of my stress for the day.
Yeah.
But that's just me, you know. What do you guys do? Like, how do you recharge? Like, what do you do to relax? Do you take a nap? Do you go to the spa? Like, what do you do?
That's a good question. I like the way you said, what is leisure to you?
Two things. One is that anytime that I wake up and take a nap, I wake up and I have an instant.
You feel guilty.
Yeah, I feel guilty and I feel anxious. Like, oh man, I just wasted a half an hour, which is not healthy. Need to work on that. So I'll just say that for the record, and it's not anything to strive for. Take a nap and don't feel bad about it, period. I'll just say that. The other thing is, this was maybe 2 weekends ago. Grayson was at a birthday party, and so we had an afternoon off, and I looked at Harrison and I was like, you want to go play pickleball? And he said, just the two of us? I'm like, yeah, that would be great. And it was so fun. We literally, and so that doing something competitive, active is, even though it's not rest necessarily, doing something like that, I think is great. I do that. And then also this summer, I've been really committed to reading more just fiction books. And so maybe a couple weeks ago, I took
like entertainment.
Yeah. And I sat on our deck, and probably for 2.5 hours, I read the end of my book. And I decided that I'm not feeling bad about it. There was lots of things I could be doing and not read that book, but I just had that goal of I wanted to finish a couple books this summer. And if you don't schedule time to do those things that you want to, like, then you're just kind of a poser, because then I just am pretending to be the person that likes to read, or I'm pretending to be the person that wants to be a gardener or own a vacation property or own a boat, but I'm not taking the steps to actually do the thing to produce that result, which is just gives you a whole nother level of stress because you're creating goals for you that are completely unattainable based on what you're putting your energy towards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
It's the truth though. And like, you know, unfortunately, I think in this day and age, that sounds like such an antiquated like thing, but to say, but in this day and age, I think in this day and age, it's like you kind of have to schedule leisure, schedule the book. You know what I mean? What about you, Jessica? What's leisure to you?
Well, yeah, and that's going to be
Sorry,
a
I hijacked
takeaway.
the topic.
No. That's going to be a takeaway for me. And we did have a homework assignment too at the end of the sermon, so it goes together. But leisure to me is um, whatever it is that resets you, that recharges you, that helps you just relax.
What is that
And
for you?
yeah, I was going to
Yeah, what's
say,
yours?
and for me, that is the day at the spa, or just relaxing, doing nothing. And I just unfortunately don't do it enough, but or hanging out. I don't really have friends locally. I have not done a really good job with, investing in time to do that. But it would be the going out to brunch with a friend and kind of just hanging out, having some cocktails, grabbing a movie, whatever. To me, that's all leisure. Mr. Smith is not spontaneous. What you just said, I think sounds so cool. Like, hey, let's just go and do this. He's got to have a whole plan and agenda 7 days in advance and make sure that he's, emotionally ready to do the movie, whatever it may be. Whereas
I
I'm
I can relate to that.
I'm like, just let's do that. Okay, drop everything and just go. And I think the reason I'm like that is because sometimes that's the only way it gets done. Because when I have time, the way my brain works, this was like this the other day. I don't know how much time, but I found myself sitting there doing nothing. And the first thing I thought of is I have two friends that have recently lost their husbands. Both married 20 some years, lost their husbands with cancer. And I'm like, I need to check on them. Like, I haven't checked on them. Oh my God. Like, what's wrong with me? I know that. And I just started texting them. And so that's what I spent my time doing. Like, there are people that need to be checked on, and I'm sitting here doing nothing. I need to, do something. And that's, and I get it. That's a good thing, but I need to do that for myself. So I need to schedule, like you just said, just like I used to do when I said I used to schedule a meeting with myself to take a walk in the middle of my day. My job is not sitting at a computer anymore. So, but I need to do that for myself every week.
A piece of that though too is when we are so busy. We had talked about this a little bit, and you mentioned at the beginning, Justin. I want to come back to it. Is that you had mentioned that you want to have that you're not going to do that landscape project until you can pay to have somebody take care of your garden, and that is another piece of this is the things that we choose to pay for versus not pay for, like or do ourselves. And so it becomes either a task or a job we have to do, or we hire it out. How do you guys make that decision? So I'm thinking housekeeper. We talked about that a couple episodes about getting somebody to come over and do some of those cleaning tasks, yard. Even you're trying to maybe do a remodeling project, and painting is one of those things. Maybe you're not skilled at plumbing and hanging cabinets and countertop, but painting is one of those things that I feel like everybody can do decently, but it takes a lot of time. And so those types of things, like how do you decide whether you're going to do it or hire it out?
Well, painting for me, for those of you that have not done this before,
Hate it.
I thought that once upon a time in California, and I'm like, how hard can this thing be? Like, seriously, you can't mess it up. And let me tell you, that weekend,
You can mess it up.
no,
True.
well, we did a great job. That wasn't the problem. The problem was at the end of the weekend, I didn't even understand how I felt like my eyeballs were sore. Everything was sore. My whole entire body was aching. Like, so for those of you that don't know that whatever you're doing when you're painting,
you're using muscles you probably haven't seen the light of day in decades.
Yeah.
So please don't let that seem like that's an easy task. No, I paid for that. And I promised myself that I would never paint again, that was something that is worth paying for sure. Because of
my sister said the same thing about moving. So the last couple times they've moved, they've had movers because of like his job. And she's like, I will never, ever move myself ever again. Like I just, whatever. But what I was going to say is, so I went to I can't remember his name. I wish I remembered his name. He was a motivational speaker. He was in a real estate industry. And one of the things that he brought up was, sort of like the value of your time. So he had brought up that story. We've talked about this on the podcast one other time, but he was talking about mowing the lawn. And he was like, if that hour is worth more, if I can make more money in that hour that I'm paying someone to mow my lawn, then that's what I'm going to do. And this was a little more related to working, but he said, but I don't, because I enjoy mowing my lawn. So I think there's a difference between like, there are people out there who are very crafty. You know what I mean? And they might be like, hey, I want to paint because I enjoy it, or I want to sew my curtains, or whatever the thing is, because I enjoy doing that. Or organizing. My daughter she is the most organized person I've ever met in my entire life. Like, you talk about the labels being in the front, like that is her. Yeah. So I will say, like, hey, can you do the closet? Like, I'll pay you an allowance, or I'll pay you whatever per hour, but can you organize all the closet? Because I'm like everything's a mess, and then I shut the door. Right. So it looks good. It's the whole thing of like, you open up the cabinet and all the Tupperware comes flying out of you. That's like my life. But it's a difference between like, do you enjoy doing it, or is it worth your money? Is it worth the monetary value of having somebody else like take care of that for you? Which maybe I got off on the tangent there in a little bit, but I think that's part of the leisure thing is like, are you going to get more enjoyment out of just hiring this out?
Yeah.
I think being able to utilize the end result. Yeah.
It's very specific to your lifestyle, your personality, where you find your joy and peace. All of those things dictate that. Your cleaning lady that came up in our family discussion yesterday. And I said, I think that I'm at the point now, because I have really no help here. I'm here literally with all men now. So there's no other women. Before we would like take
just
turns.
Think of those toilets.
Exactly. And so
just think of those toilets.
Every female listener knows what I mean by that.
Yeah. Lots of sprinkles.
Yeah. So we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 or 6 boys in the house, and then there's me. And I'm like, yeah, this isn't going to work. And this is a big freaking house. And then they say things like, well, there's no one in the basement. I'm like, guys, it doesn't matter. When I go downstairs to record, I'm looking around and I'm seeing dust everywhere, and I'm anxious. I don't want to sit in dust. Even if it's not being used, it still needs to be cleaned every so often. And you guys don't see that or think that, but it needs to be. And so, yeah, we talked about that. And I think I'm going to maybe have someone come once a month, and then it would be easier to maintain. But I also said, to me, again, if the way my bank account is set up, if it goes below a certain amount and we need to figure out what that is, then at that point, I don't think you're in that lane, and I'm not willing to get in debt for a cleaning lady.
For sure. And it just goes at you have to make choices, because there's some things like, for example, we go back to the painting situation. I actually love painting. Without toot my own horn.
Again, I'm sorry. We are living together.
I can edge freehand, straight line, no drip lines, perfect, no tape, all the things. And that to me is like your daughter cleaning, getting things organized. It's like I sit back and sometimes I just look at the wall and the ceiling, and just how I just have a straight line, and it's just the nerdiest thing ever, but it's something that is like, and I can see your paint line.
I was gonna say, can you see behind me right now? Because that's my painting.
But then going back to the landscaping, I physically, you need to hire heavy machinery, and it's a lot of physical labor to move. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, I think that I could maybe do it, and it's not going to look great, and it's always going to be work in progress. And then, you know what I mean? So it's like those things like, okay, we can maybe paint and do the flooring because that's something too, but we're going to hire out the landscaping because it's just physically something that we're not skilled in and don't have the proper equipment or the physical ability to do it, you know. So
I don't enjoy that. Directly behind my head is my paint mess up. You've probably been staring at for
I do all see that maybe you touched the ceiling with your roller.
Yes, because I'm terrible at
that kind
painting.
Of stuff would like bother the crap out of me. So I'd get up there with a Q-tip and white paint it. But that's what I
next time you come over, I'll make sure I have it ready for you.
No, you look great. Ladies, we're wrapping up here. What are anything we did not talk about in terms of leisure versus luxury? Anything you have to say? Takeaways. Jessica's getting a cleaning lady, which makes me smile.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Homework.
Or a cleaning man, a clean person. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a dude.
No.
I do have one takeaway. I would say like to have the luxury experience without paying money for it is possible as well. Like you said, you
what
guys
do you mean
just
by that?
Well, just playing pickleball one day, you know, with Harrison. But I also think we have like a blow up pool in the front yard. Brad and I will like sit in this like stupid little kids blow up pool in the afternoon and get sunshine and like have a little cocktail or whatever. And just enjoy a little bit of relaxation that way. So I think that in terms of luxury and leisure, like I think you can probably
fit into the luxury bucket, or is that something?
The $10 blow up pool, like
Jessica, can you weigh in on, is the blow up pool luxury?
No, I'm saying like you can have a good relaxing experience without having to pay. You know, you can be creative and you can like, you know, you can sit out, you can, you know, whatever it is that relaxes you, you can do those things without having to pay the luxury price for it. I guess if you're a little creative.
Mentioned to me, like, we like going on the boat, but I wouldn't ever own a boat because I don't think we would use it enough to warrant it. But
yeah.
Renting a boat for a weekend or renting jet skis or something like that where you can kind of live the life but not have all of the costs and responsibility. That's all. I mean, it's the whole concept of Airbnb, right? You can have the second home, but not with the year-round expense and cost and all the things.
And with a little creativity, you can figure it out too. You know, you can figure out that experience.
Your point, Jamie, is that luxury doesn't have to be expensive, right? The word like cell phones are a luxury. They are. They're not a necessity to me. They're a luxury. I have to remind Hayden all the time of all the luxuries that he has that he takes for granted. So I think even in the context of this conversation, luxury does not have to mean expensive.
Yep.
So
awesome.
That's a great takeaway.
You recapped it better than I did.
Yeah.
You didn't include a blow up pool in your explanation, so that's cool.
Oh man. Okay. So I am going to close with this. Another thing that I read is this idea of the great game. Have you guys heard this recently at all?
Mm-mm.
It's basically this idea that in terms of most of history, having leisure time or luxury really wasn't even a concept. Like you just were living. We were just existing and trying to figure out how to survive. And so it wasn't until the very recent future, even just having the concept of hot water, people 100 years ago, most people did not have hot water, which it just blows my mind. How does that even work? Right.
Yeah.
And many people, like most of the people in the world, do not have hot water right now as saying that, you know, so it's very much a new concept of trying to figure out, are we doing leisure or luxury? But all that to say is that whatever you decide to invest your time and your resources in, like, do it now and don't put it off, because today is the absolute best time to start living your life well, because you just don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And so I'm going to end on that. If this episode hit home in any way, could you do us a favor and share it with somebody who would find this entertaining and would like to have this conversation about how to spend their resources and spend their time? Also, it would do us a huge favor and service for you to like this episode and subscribe. You can find us at leadlikeagirllab.com as our website, and then also our Spotify, our YouTube account, our TikTok, our LinkedIn, all of that. Please find us on those social media sources and give us a like and subscribe to that. That's all I got, ladies. Been a fantastic conversation, and we will see all of you next week for more Lead Like a Girl.